Hey guys, J19 brought you another video, and yes, I am back for making more content. We are going to talk about what Hamaguchi had to say with this little bit of the Legend reimagined, the Final Fantasy VII Remake integrated creator's voice. Nintendo just dropped this a few days ago, I think a couple days ago. It wasn't that long. I'm finally getting around to it, but this is huge. They actually did it, as my thumbnail actually says, with concerning the trilogy. You guys will probably click on this and go, what the hell are you talking about regarding the trilogy? Well, we're going to listen to him talk this last minute of this video. This is very important to a lot of us, and especially what it means for the trilogy moving forward, especially for part 3. So that's today's video. So if you guys want more Final Fantasy VII news, content, updates, reactions, discussions, feel free to like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification, stay notified when I upload these videos, and I can't wait. Let's get right into it. I'll switch things over to the discussion about the gameplay, and we're going to let this thing play out and see what he has to say, because this is very important.
上がるかなっていうところを期待しているので、非常に楽しみだなというふうに思っています。FF7 を遊んだことがない人にはまずクラウドとセフィロスを知ってもらいたいっていうのがあります。任天堂のスマッシュブラザーズでクラウドとセフィロスって登場させていただいていて、今回このスイッチ2に FF7 リメイクシリーズを発表していくことで
Right there. Right here. This is the first time he mentioned this. He says with the release of... Oh, come on. Get off the screen. It's not going to do it. But anyways, it says right back here. Let me go back again. They said with the release of Final Fantasy VII Remake series on Switch 2, which that means to me that this is just a soft confirmation that the whole trilogy is coming to the Switch 2. This is huge because now they're automatically coming out and saying, yeah, part 3 is going to be on Switch 2. This is huge because what does this mean talking about the contract situation between Square Enix and Sony when Square's already coming out and saying, hey, we're going to have the release of the Final Fantasy Remake series on the Switch 2. This is massively big for Final Fantasy VII and Nintendo. This is not just for Nintendo, but what does it mean for Xbox? What does it mean for PC release for Part 3? So let's talk.
発表していくことで、親子でキャラクターのファンになってもらって、なんか語り合ってもらえたりとかすると、非常に嬉しいなというふうに思います。任天堂とファイナルファンタジー
I have high hopes that we can build a strong partnership between Nintendo and the Final Fantasy brand. That is massive.
I
hope players are looking forward to Final Fantasy Remake series on Nintendo Switch 2. That, my friends, is very, very... We'll have this playing in the background. I want to talk about it for a little bit. So, here we go. I'm back. Anyways, this is massive, right? This is a soft confirmation that Square might not even have a contract with Sony for Part 3. Like, this is huge, right? This is I know it took me a little bit to get to the spot I want to find, but this is huge, right? This is massively important because Square has stated that they want to start making better quality games or higher quality games and release them on multiple platforms. They understand that having these games locked on the PlayStation was not doing good for them. Final Fantasy 16 took a while for it to sell. It sold 3 million copies within the first few weeks, or 3 weeks, whatever it was. Final Fantasy Rebirth, we didn't really get a sales confirmation from it, but word is around the streets is it sold about 2 million copies within the first month or so. And then it fell off for a little while. It didn't meet expectations, and Rebirth finally had an explosion on Steam, and it sold well. Square understands that having exclusive time rights with Sony, they sign a big check, they cash a big check from Sony, but in the long run, it's costing them money. It's not living up to their expectations of sales. Square wherever their sale expectations are, they have to probably lower it a little bit, or lower the amount of budget it takes to make higher quality games. Because with Expedition 33, I'll bring this up. I'm not comparing the two. If it's Expedition 33 is made by like 30 some odd devs, it didn't cost a lot of money to make, and it's selling like 2 million copies so far, and that's blowing way past their expectations. When you have a lower budget game that's doing well like Expedition 33, it makes you wonder if Square doesn't need to do $100 million plus project like each Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy 16, Final Fantasy 15, Final Fantasy 7 Remake trilogy. But to get back to this is huge, because does that mean that Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 3 is going to be released on everything? Or does this mean that Sony does have one final contract with the Part 3, but it's short-lived? Like, it's going to be maybe 3 months, and they're going to release this thing in about 2 years on Switch 2 and PC, right? What if they do that? That's like the worst case scenario. The great case scenario, maybe Sony and Square Enix tore up that contract and say, look, we understand that we wanted the first couple of games to be on here, but now we understand what your business. They have a great relationship. I don't think Sony's going to handcuff them and say, no, you're going to release this on PlayStation no matter what, or we're going to take you to court. That would really hammer their relationship down the drain if they do that. So maybe Sony and Square just say, you know what, we're just going to tear up this contract, knowing that, hey, thank you for allowing this game, the first 2 games, to be on PlayStation only and help boost sales. We understand that now that the game didn't reach your expectations, but it finally did. I want to clarify to those that still think that Final Fantasy VII Remake, Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16 did not meet expectations. The recent interviews says otherwise. They said they have met expectations. So the sales are fine. Rebirth sales are fine. I just wish they give us an update by now. Or Final Fantasy 16 as well, right? Give us an update on the sales number. That's all you gotta do. Maybe in your new financial report, just tell people how many sell. It's not gonna be that bad of a deal. Just say, yeah, this game sold 5 million. Like, it sold 3 million. Do something, right? Just let us know. But this is huge. This is massively huge for Final Fantasy VII Remake trilogy going forward. And those of you who are just gonna get the Switch 2 or never played this game, don't have a PC, you don't have you don't have a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation 4 when Remake came out, you're gonna have an opportunity to play this game, which was my game of the year. It was a beloved title for me. Does it have some issues? Does it have some flaws? Yeah, it's not a perfect game. But what they've done with the game, being like a fresh coat of, not a fresh coat of paint, but just being fresh, being something, it's nostalgia, but something new, but also taking the source material and running with it. That's what I like about it. Rebirth, same thing. So for him to come out here and the creators thing here and say, hey, we're gonna we look forward to people playing the Remake series on the Switch 2. That's the confirmation that they are not bullshitting us. They want to put these games on multiple platforms. What better way? Imagine the sales if they come out with Part 3 and say, yeah, it's going to be available on Xbox, it's going to be available on PC, it's going to be available on Switch 2, and of course the PlayStation 5. Now, granted, people are saying, where in the hell is Remake in 16 on Xbox? Why isn't it on that yet? Why is the Remake series coming to Switch 2, but not Xbox? I'm wondering the same thing. Is Microsoft and Square Enix relationship just not that strong? Are they waiting for maybe the Xbox showcase to show it off? They could. It'd be awesome, right? To get Xbox and Game Pass players to finally get a chance to play this game. I hope Game Pass is not forced on this game. I like the people to buy the game and play it. But if it's gonna be on Game Pass, so what? Microsoft gave Square some money for that. So I'm happy about that. I'm not a PlayStation fanboy. I'm not just a Square Enix boy. I want these games to succeed. I want Square Enix to have a year where they say, yeah, we made some money back on their physical year. We didn't have a loss. We had a successful year. I want them to be like that again. These games, there's nothing wrong with Final Fantasy 16 or Final Fantasy 15 was fine. Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth are fine games, fantastic games. A loud minority might tell you they're the worst games in the series. That's just them. They just don't like the new story twist. Or not, I'm not gonna say what's going on with the game, but the game is still like 80 to 90% faithful to the original source. And they finally have a chance with all this technology to actually tell the story like they wanted to. They had so many ideas back in 1997, and being able to flesh it out, use the lore they have gotten throughout all these compilations of FF7. So this is amazing. This is great. I had to make a video today because this is FF7. This is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I grew up with FF7. It was my first JRPG, and I love the Remake series. I wasn't a big fan of the ending to Rebirth, but I understand why they did it. I'm 100% on board. Give Remake series a chance on the Nintendo Switch 2. If you want to get this game, I highly recommend it. Combat's fun. The characters are great. It's a great JRPG overall. It is my game of the year over The Last of Us Part 2. Like, I love The Last of Us. That's one of my other favorite franchises. But this game, I had to talk about. It's like, this is huge. They actually did it, folks. Final Fantasy VII Remake series is coming to the Switch 2. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. You guys think that contract for all 3 games is done? You think Square Enix is able to be off the hook and release Part 3 on everything? Or is this just a soft confirmation to say yes, eventually it will come to Switch 2 after the contract is up for the PlayStation 5 for Part 3? I would love to hear your discussions down below. Let's talk about it. I'll comment back and forth. I'd love to see what you guys' thought is at for this game. Have you played it yet? Are you still going to buy the Switch 2 and be like, you know what? Since I'm a Nintendo fan, I really love Final Fantasy, but I want to play the newer games. So here we go. Remake's coming out maybe later on this year, maybe early next year. We don't know. They didn't give us a release date yet, which is kind of weird. But it looks great. This is all in-game on the Switch 2, and it looks fantastic. It looks like a PS4 Pro. It looks really super good. It looks smooth at times. I guess they're showcasing like graphics and the performance for like when you play 60 FPS or 30 FPS. Game looks great. I can't wait, guys. This is exciting. So let me know what you guys think of this. Are you guys excited for Part 3 like I am? I guarantee this. We are getting a teaser trailer later this year with a release window. It's going to be like next winter. Get ready, because the marketing for Part 3 is going to start ramping up a little at a time. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the teaser. I can't wait for the new information, because they keep talking about it. They keep teasing it. They say, hey, hope you guys are excited. Please be excited when we share information. We can't wait, So anyways, with that said, be nice to each other. Have a wonderful day, wonderful night. Keep on keeping on. Links in the description below for my Twitch and Discord. Feel free to join Discord and talk more about this. I can't wait. I'm excited. I'm not going to probably buy on the Switch 2. I'm not buying the Switch 2 for a while. But I love FF7 Remake series. I cannot wait for your guys' reaction on the Switch 2 and see what you guys think of this game. And with that said, I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Take care.